안녕하세요. My name is Susan, and I'm the co-founder of the QLINK. And I started with my partner on the QLINK in the last year. And before that, I'm an investment banker for 10 years and focused on the finance and retail industry. So it was very excited to be a part of QLINK and start up with a project from scratch. And now I'm in charge of pretty much everything on the QLINK and more directly on the community marketing and the communication, indirectly on the R&D. And we are so excited in Seoul for the QLINK this time.
Is this your first time visiting Korea, and how do you like here so far?
Yeah, Korea is always one of my favorite countries in Asia, and I have been here many times for the traveling and for the business visiting. So in my previous job, I came back every 2 months. So I'm quite familiar with what's been happening here, and but I think this time experience is fresh. I'm able to know so many young men and devote themselves into the blockchain industry. That is very exciting.
I know that you have 10 years of experiences in finance industry. So what brought you here developing your QLINK token?
Yes. In my previous job, we look into the financial industry and financial technology as well. So I think blockchain is revolutionary. In China, we have Alipay, but blockchain really bring Alipay to the global levels. Whoever can set up the wallet on a cell phone and transfer the value in terms of the token to the others, and which happens in a very speed matters, and which brings the level of convenience to the people's life dramatically. So we think this is a technology not just going to be in the finance, and this is what our mission will be, to use the blockchain and improve the technology of the network. Because I think everyone, just like me, I can't live without the internet, and I need to watch my YouTube, I need to check my Twitter, I need to connect with my friends, share with my life. So what the blockchain can improve is the next generation of network service that get people to be connected by the way they should be. And at the same time, the billing will be much more fair and transparent to everyone.
QLINK is not well known yet in Korea, so for those people who doesn't know about your token yet,
yes.
Can you please briefly explain about your token
okay.
to those people?
QLC is our token, and QLC will be used on all the network services provided by the QLINK. The QLINK provides decentralized mobile services, which including, so for now, the dApp we're developing right now is including the Wi-Fi sharing. So for example, you and me were sharing a co-working space, and you set up the Wi-Fi, and I can use the Wi-Fi, and then I pay you QLC. It works in a lot of scenarios like Airbnb. The hosting will ask the guests to pay for the network service, but I mean, it obviously depends what kind of infrastructure the host is set up there. It will be applies to the mobile payments for the networking service. At the same time, the second dApp that we're developing is VPN. So whoever can set up the VPN to share the networking to the ones that want to use the VPN. And it's very important especially for the in crypto participants, to use VPN to protect the privacy, to add extra layer of the safety when you do the transaction. You tell your IP address will be totally hide behind the service. So those are the technology we're developing. I think by using blockchain and everyone to share its networking resources to the ones that they want to share, they want to use. At the same time, they can make QLC from that as well.
We heard that there are some tokens in the market already which are also sharing data just like on the QLINK based on the blockchain. What is the advantage of the QLINK compared to those? Is there any significance?
QLINK is a utility token, and we provide the network service from end to end. So the example I just gave, those are dApps running on the QLINK, and on the And behind the dApp, there is a chain which we call the QLINK chain, which is chain that dedicated for all the transaction ledgers between the shares and the users. Just like the Ether ledgers, and you track all the transactions. But our transaction record will be just the networking services that you use. Why we do this? Because for the networking, you do need a different consensus algorithm. Because it can be calculated as POW or POS because that's going to be expensive. You need a high transaction speed and you need a flat fee. So every time you use Wi-Fi to get a connection and use data, so the fee will be flat. That's going to be more fair for the most people. So on the base level, and we'll develop our own hardware. It's just like your home router. The concept of the home router is when 50% of the time you're not using the router because you're not at home or you're not at the office. The router can mine itself, and eventually it will become a mining pool to support the POW or POS consensus tokens as well. So that's what I'm saying. We are end-to-end solutions from the dApps and to the hardware. I think that's our biggest advantage and strength from the other projects.
QLINK is a blockchain that is based on NEO. Are there any specific reasons that you choose to develop your tokens on the NEO platform?
That is a great question. So we think NEO is a great community and has a lot of developers. It's attracting more developers into this community. We got a lot of support from the community. That's one of the big reasons that we choose NEO. The second reason is a NEO chain has support very high transaction per second. By the end of 2020, it will support 1,000 transactions per second. So this kind of technical specs is what we're looking for to support our service. Having said that, all the assets that we use, for example, everyone could register your cell phone, your router on the NEO, and further on, when you share those resources, the ledger will keep on the QLINK chain. So NEO is actually one of the main chain that we're using at this time.
A lot of the anti-law related to the blockchain in China. So do you have any idea or your perspectives to those kind of thing? Because many Korean investors might be, worried about those laws in China.
Yeah, understood. I think Chinese government is really against any kind of the financial breakdown into the system, so which is understandable. I mean, I think any government in the world who would be against this kind of economic meltdown anyway. So this is the only thing that they are concerned about because of the ICO. A lot of projects are unqualified to be ICO'd, and once they come to market to fundraising, there's a lot of financial scams that's happened before, not just in ICO, but in a kind of like previous projects like real estate, security fraud, those things. I think that they're absolutely on the right sides on how to regulate those projects, because it essentially becomes a security market but without any regulations. So a lot of things, a lot of the bad things could happen to innocent investors, which is something that no one wants to see. And on another hand, I believe Chinese really bring this technology to a different level in terms of fundamental innovation on the mining basis, on the blockchain mainnets, on the dApps. I saw a lot of great teams and jumping out from China to really implement the ideas. So I don't think the Chinese government are against that. and they do wish they can use the blockchain technology on its own administration as well. So going forward, I think there's a lot of projects will be marketing overseas and try to get the overseas market to use the blockchain technology, which is going to be great for the Chinese as well. And I think any projects, and when they do the fundraising, the ICO, have to be very sensitive to the regulatory change, and it's for investor as well. I could emphasize many times. I think this industry needs a lot of investors like Warren Buffett. We don't need flippers. And if you are flippers, you are not able to make money. You are not able to make big money. And you are just speculating on the market. And we really wish, and everyone could really research, understand the team, and choose the best project and hold for years. And this is how you make money on technology.
CoinNest meetup last night. We know that the most of tokens which previously had joined the CoinNest meetup before, they finally be listed on the CoinNest exchange. So can we expect your token to be listed on the CoinNest in the future as well?
Yes, the QLINK token will be listed on the CoinNest. And we're working on the process because we are NEP5 token, and we are first NEP5 token to be listed on the CoinNest, which is not just big news for me, but for us, and it's big news for the Neon family as well. So there is a lot of technology integration to be done, and we're working with CoinNest at the same time. So we expect the process to be complete. I hope as soon as possible, probably in the March, we can treat the QLC on CoinNest. So at the same time, I want to say that it's not just for the people as investor who can trade the QLC. It also we want to develop a community in Korea to connect with our users, and more importantly to support the blockchain industry developing in Korea, in the depth, in technology as well. So we will work with the CoinNest on the different initiatives that brings on the table, and eventually maybe working with the universities in Korea as well. That's our goal.
Do you have plan to be listed on the other exchanges other than CoinNest as well?
Okay. Yes, we do have plans. There's a couple of exchanges we're talking to right now, and I can share more details when we allow to.
Briefly explain about your the future works for the QLINK, like the visions and plans, and also tell us about the ongoing project in the QLINK.
Okay. I want to show you our first step, which is the QLINK Wi-Fi sharing dApp and the QLINK Wi-Fi decentralized Wi-Fi. So this dApp is already able to download through our GitHub page, and we're running intensive testing on this app at this moment. So for example, for the Wi-Fi here, I'm currently using the Wi-Fi at this venue. I can register Wi-Fi, and I can set the price, how much QLC I want to charge, and I can register this Wi-Fi. So the benefits of this is whoever wants to share the Wi-Fi could be, say this asset is registered right now on the blockchain, and if the second phone comes to play, they can find this Wi-Fi to pay the QLC. So for example, even though I'm not the owner of this place, but I'm the owner of this Wi-Fi. So whoever wants to be the owner of someone's Wi-Fi, they can register Wi-Fi on the blockchain right now. And once it's registered, only the owner can change either SSID or password to change the information on the blockchain. I think this is going to be revolutionary, especially for the Korea. Whoever adapting to the system could be actually making a lot of money through the QLINK, or not just on the token speculative, but on the real application. So a second step I want to introduce is the VPN. So VPN is actually allowed you to set up a VPN on your cell phone and share the VPN to someone else. And we encouraging a lot of testers to join our community to test this product. So whoever be our beta tester, we will reward them with a great bounty. So those are our plans. And for the other things, public chain is a big focus of this year. And by the end of this year, we expected the QLINK base station to be shipped as well. Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on this interview. Do you have any last words for people like Korean investors or any people like who interested in the blockchain?
Yes. So first of all, I want to thank the Bitman because I was really impressed with the team. I'm here on the Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. but everyone is working. So I want to thank you for all the team members for the hard working. I think in crypto is really an industry which never sleeps. So those young men put a lot of efforts in this industry. So the community, I truly believe the Bitman's community. I think if you have this kind of team behind this, the community is going to be really tight and growing really fast as well. Second, I want to say I think Korea is not just a place that people are buying and selling tokens, and we should focus on more technology that's innovated by the Koreans and the users, how the Korean users can actually use the blockchain in daily life, not just a wallet app, but other things as well. So this is something we want to change and develop into the Korean market. And the third thing I want to say is QLINK is definitely a long-term project. We're not a speculative token. We are projects that focus on fundamental change. And if you are Warren Buffett, and we welcome you to join the QLINK family. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. Right? Is it 감사합니다?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.